Deconstruction.
What's up, everybody? It's the Hard Deconstruction. You can find us at hardyconstruction.tumblr.com, youtube.com/hardyconstruction, as well as facebook.com/thehardyconstruction with your host, Comp, and
Lumpy Nutsack.
today's film is
Don't Breathe, 2016.
Don't Breathe, 2016, directed by Fede Alvarez, written by Fede Alvarez and Rodo Sayagüez. Oh, brother. Starring Stephen Lang, Jane Levy.
These are your people.
That's good. Well, he might be Mexican, so that's not necessarily my people. See, the Hispanics don't like each other as much as the Asians don't. See, with the Koreans and the Japanese,
You guys don't like each other? You don't have like a
No,
big
I
club?
love all races. Dylan Minnette, Daniel Zovato, Emma Bercovici, and that's it. So anyway, this film is about helping to walk away. Jesus Christ, Danny. Hoping to walk away with massive cash, a trio of thieves break into the house of a sick man who isn't as helpless as he seems. So
He's not sick, he's blind.
no, he's kind of sick. Eventually in the film, we find out he's sick. This is a film that just came out in 2016. I have to say, before I watched this film, I actually had I was going to watch it earlier in the day. I just finished watching it right now, literally like minutes ago, and I had to go watch the Fox remake of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't know why, because you know why, Danny?
Yeah, it sounds like it would be horrible. I don't know why you would watch it.
You know why, Danny? Because it's astounding. Time is fleeting. Madness takes its toll. It was not that good.
Look
Anyway,
at you.
Anyway, this yes, that was better than what I saw.
I thought I was in the room with Riff Raff for a second.
Certainly with somebody. So this film, 2016, I heard about it a while back. Fede Alvarez, if anybody knows, he directed the remake of Evil Dead that was superior to the original film, obviously, right? Is that what we came to, the consensus?
It wasn't that bad, honestly. It was okay.
It wasn't that good. I wasn't a huge fan of the remake Evil Dead. The only thing I think I liked was the chainsaw kill at the end, when she's chainsawing that evil demon at the end. Because it was pretty graphic.
Okay.
Yeah, it was sort of like they melded Evil Dead with torture porn, and because it was really graphic and stuff, which is fine.
It was very serious, too. It wasn't
Yeah, it was
funny.
a real serious take. But yeah, Evil Dead 1 wasn't comedic anyway. It was the second one that kind of branded what we know as Evil Dead. And its television
That's
show,
true.
the television show has seriously made me forget everything else that was trying to be Evil Dead.
Isn't the show so good?
The show's great. Yeah, second season started. Anyway, and by the way, did you know Sam Raimi was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna merge the Evil Dead together with the characters from the remake and the one with Ash." And I'm like, why bother? Like, leave.
Yeah, whatever.
Leave that
You know,
remake
that guy can do whatever he wants. I trust him.
Anyway, they were supposed to make a sequel to the Evil Dead remake, but Fede Alvarez was like, no, I want to do my own thing instead, so he did this, which turned out to be a financial success, kind of coming out of nowhere. It had a interesting premise with a trio of criminals breaking into a blind man's house, and eventually it becomes Metal Gear Solid, the film, where they're trying not to be detected. In a way, though, while watching it, I was like, where have I seen this before? Then I realized, oh, yes, the people under the stair. The People Under the Stairs is essentially the same premise, although this is done in a much
People
slicker
Under the
way.
Stairs is so much fun.
Yeah, that's the difference. This takes itself very seriously. It's not a bad movie. I actually thought it was pretty okay, but People Under the Stairs has a kitsch factor to it, like a zaniness to it, with psychopaths in the house and there's mutants downstairs.
Yeah, I mean, the scene where he's in the full bondage gear is amazing.
And at least People Under the Stairs. Where was People Under the Stairs? Do you remember where it took place?
I think like Detroit or
if
something.
that took place in Detroit too, then this movie has serious problems, because this is a movie about Detroit with only white characters and not one black person in sight. I was like, so aren't there like mostly African American people that live, like not mostly, but a lot of African American people
I don't know anything
live?
about Detroit, honestly. So
it's where Eminem came from, the most lauded white rapper in the history of the world since Vanilla Ice. Let me see. Was that in Detroit? Let me see if People Under the Stairs was in Detroit.
It was. I think it was. I really do.
I'm still taking a guess. I don't know. It was something. All I remember is that the People on the Stairs ending was so fucking goofily racist, with the black people dancing
and
in the streets.
all the like hair metal guys that lived under there.
It was such a racist scene, because it was just like all black people laughing and dancing in the street as a house exploded with money raining on them, and I was like, this is a bizarre ending.
Yeah.
Anyway, Yeah, so People on the Stairs has three actors, I'm sorry, portraying these thieves that I guess they don't want to get a regular job. They just kind of want to score big. So Jane Levy, who is a very delicious-looking young lady, and I mean delicious
and she was
because
in
of
Evil Dead.
Yeah, I mean she's delicious because of her mind. That's why she was one of the.
Oh yeah, no, it's all about her personality.
Yeah, I figured she was from the Evil Dead remake. She's a very pretty girl, good actor. Everybody's actually a pretty good actor. Dylan Minnette, for some reason, I don't know if you. He was the guy who played Alex, the best named character in the film. He was the.
He looks a lot like the guy from American Pie.
Yes. No, he reminds me of this other actor named Logan Lerman, and Logan Lerman is an actor who sort of, if you put the both of them together, they sort of look like the same guy. You don't know who Logan Lerman is. He was I think they tried to make this other Harry Potter sort of franchise about this guy who deals with the Olympic gods, something on the Olympians or some shit like that.
Okay, Percy Jackson.
Right, yeah, and actually, you know what's funny, because that film was directed by the guy who did the first Harry Potter thing, so I guess they were, the studios were like, well, let's let him start the next one. And that actually had a pretty awesome chase scene where they had those sneakers with wings on the sides of them. So there was some sort of like flying in the street, and it looked cool, but it didn't take off. But it had Rosario Dawson, which is great. But he sort of, I don't know why, I don't even know why I got into that thing. But Dylan Minnette plays Alex, who's sort of the friend-zoned gentleman, as he is called by Money, who is Jane Levy's character's boyfriend.
And
in the
what
film.
a name!
Yes, Money. But anyway, and they use that phrase "friend zone" actually in this film. That's not me being a sexist cisgender male pig, because you know what they say, you're not a.
You are that, but not
that's
in
true.
this example.
But it's funny because they say online, they're like on Tumblr and stuff like that. They're like, you shouldn't say friend zone because that's such a male pig thing. And I'm like, oh brother, it's like you're not allowed to say that
you can't say anything.
You can't say anything. Let's just stop the episode right now.
Just don't speak.
But I was about to go into a No Doubt song, but Jane Levy plays Rocky, who is the I was going to say titular character, but there's no fucking character called Rocky in here. She is a down and out young lady. She lives with her mother's boyfriend, and I thought it was her daughter, but it was her sister, I think.
No, it's her sister.
Yeah, and she wants to just get the fuck out of Detroit, like any sane person would, I assume, because Detroit sort of looks like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Actually, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome looks nicer. And Alex is a guy who's, I guess, he has a crush on her. She is dating Money, who's played by Daniel Zavato, and for some reason, I just can't. I can't understand, like, is he Spanish? Oh, he's Costa Rican. Okay, so I guess that sort of takes away from what I was just going to say right now, but I can't stand
what
sort
were you
of,
say?
whitewashed gangster guys. Like, people that can't act like gangsters on film. Like, I know there's,
he's not a gangster,
right,
though,
I get that, but I mean... Yeah, but I mean, like, if you're from Detroit, I would assume you'd have a better swagger than this guy is. Like, he's an actor, so I would figure he sort of pulled it off, but I was sort of like, I didn't buy it that much. Anyway, but he plays Money. He's sort of an asshole, and that's probably why Rocky likes him. And Alex is a tragic, of course, friend zone gentleman who will do anything for the girl, and he gets fucked over. Anyway, it's for an understandable cause why Rocky does what she wants to do. She wants to just get the fuck out of Detroit and take her sister with her away from her shitty mom and her shitty mom's boyfriend. They could have probably done it a better way, but I guess it's one of those let's get rich
It's
quick.
not, they wouldn't have made a movie about somebody signing up for, like, Monster.com or something.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't want to troll through Craigslist. That would have been a completely different film. Then it would have been 8 Mile Part 2 or something like that. Anyway, so these three learn a tip from Money. Oh, well, Money learns a tip from this guy who usually fences all the stuff that they buy. I mean, that they steal. Boy, that guy Alex is an idiot. He essentially just fucked his dad's career. He destroyed his father's career because his father owns a business of a security business.
Oh, is that true? Okay, I didn't understand that.
Yeah, that's why he had all the keys to the houses. So he essentially died and fucked his dad over. So I'm sure that was going to be good stuff. He steals these keys from his dad's works. Well, I guess the father keeps all the keys and stuff in the house. Takes keys and they all scout these houses and they break in.
I thought he was just like a genius locksmith or something. I didn't understand.
That's usually what they would do, but not in this case. I thought it was actually a better a much more interesting way to sort of get them into these houses. But they steal from these houses. They never steal cash because cash is a much more bigger felony thing that they would have to deal with. So they do it a smarter way, and they steal stuff like that. Which is, initially I was like, oh, this is so fucking. This is for the dumb people in the audience, because the guy they've done this probably a bunch of times already. And as soon as they walk into the house in the first frame, remember, no money. We're just taking. And I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up. Just like I know they had to say that, but I mean, it just still bothers me. So it's a little nitpick. They get into they steal from this first house, and then they figure out who money is fencing from some random Russian guy or some sort of European guy. Or maybe it could be Spanish.
They're trying to tie this movie into the WikiLeaks scandal. Russians is bad.
There's a scene they cut out where they go in the computer and you see a badly digitized Julian Assange, and he's like,
yeah, and there's like a hologram of Putin, like, stabbing our government, like stabbing our flag or something.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, so they find out from this guy that money usually fences from that there's a blind gentleman who got $350,000 settlement from I guess it's, what is that, when you sue somebody after they die? Oh, shit. After you think somebody has cause, it's not like a
civil suit.
Civil suit, right. So he sued this girl who was a rich girl, I assume her parents were rich, who hit his daughter, and they caused vehicular manslaughter, but she didn't even get that. She wasn't found guilty. Anyway, whatever. The three kids break into this house. There is a crazy Rottweiler. Do you think that? Oh, Cujo. Yeah, there was definitely mentions of Cujo in this film. There was certainly an homage to Cujo in this film. So anyway, the three people break into this apartment, and they find out it's not so easy because to steal from this man, because the blind man, played by Stephen Lang, also known as is it Corporal Quidditch or what the fuck was his name in Avatar? Avatar is essentially everybody has seen Stephen Lang pretty much.
Is he the main bad guy?
Yes. Stephen Lang has been in a lot of films, but I think his biggest role was obviously, or most known roles from Avatar. He played Colonel Miles Quaritch, and he's actually going to be in the 50 other new Avatars that are going to come out. He's going to be in Avatar 2.
They're making like 10 sequels.
He really is in it. He's in 2, 3, and 4, but he fucking died in the first one, so I guess they're going to do that shit. And also, I think Sigourney Weaver's as well, because you saw Avatar, right? You didn't like it that much? I thought it was okay.
I saw bits and pieces of it. What turned me off to it was everybody is flipping out over it and saying that they're depressed after watching it because real life could never be as good as this.
Yeah, that's sort of a sad thing when like you can't enjoy something because other people enjoy it so much, and you're like, why can't I have my own opinion of something? So it sort of turns you off to something.
It just got like smashed into my face. For I don't care anymore.
It's an okay film. Like I don't think James Cameron can fuck up a movie because he does everything so meticulous and anal. But it's worth a watch. But like I think it's a movie.
Anal.
It's a movie to watch in 3D because as by itself, it's not like something that's anything great. But I'm assuming the sequel's going to be a lot better because think about it, he did Terminator 2, and for a sequel, I'm like, fucking shit, that's a great movie.
Yeah, I don't know about the third and the fourth sequel. We'll see.
So Miles Quaritch, a.k.a. Stephen Lang in this film, is playing the blind man. He doesn't even have a name in this film. He is a mumbling, stumbling blind man in this film, and he doesn't talk for most of the film. I think he talks for like 3/4 of the film. He's silent, and he just says no or yells and stuff like that.
First word he says is no.
What were things that impressed you about this film? Was there anything that impressed you about this film, or did you feel it was sort of like stitching together other films?
It was okay.
Yeah.
It was an okay film. There were definitely things that pissed me off about this film.
Go ahead. Go into it.
Like, the music, I don't know, like, the person who made the music, like, that was a terrible choice. Like, the whole score.
Do you know what? I didn't...
Like, usually I don't focus on it, but it was, like, really distracting me.
I gotta tell you this. Yeah. I just finished the movie. I can't remember one song of the movie. I was just like, was there music in this movie?
Because, seriously, what it reminded me of is, like, there's this game my brother plays on PlayStation where it's about a cop whose family was killed and he gets revenge on them. I forget what it's called. But, like, you're this cop. And
Max Payne.
Yeah, Max Payne.
That could be one of, like, 50 million games like that. Yeah.
It reminded me of, like, Max Payne music. Like, some kind of, like, video game crime thriller where you're, like, going through dark alleys and, like, you know, like shit like that. It was like not at all the vibe of what I wanted it to be, you know? Like it just, the whole vibe was like, it felt kind of like campy and cheesy, but it didn't go with the movie at all to me. And like usually I don't care if the score is like okay, it's fine, but it was like actually distracting me and pissing me off throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, this film feels like it's bits and pieces of other movies, like obviously People Under the Stairs, Cujo, Martyrs, even.
We saw this one recently where people are like locked in a. It was a horrible movie.
Oh Jesus! Thea's movie. Intruders.
Thea's movie.
Intruders.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of Intruders a little bit.
Yeah, this is better than Intruders though. But,
oh yeah, no, it's way better than Intruders.
Intruders, you could see they made that movie for like $10. But with this, I wish I hadn't seen the trailer actually. Although I kind of figured what was going to happen ahead of time, because in the trailer they actually showed them finding that woman in the basement. If they hadn't shown that, would have been interesting. Yeah, they did. Like you see a short shot in the. I remember the commercial on TV. You see the girl like reach up for them, and then they have a horrified look. And I was like, why did they show that in the movie? Because there's only two ways you can do a film like this, and especially if it's an American film, they're gonna try to find a way to get the audience on the side of the bad guys. Essentially, these characters are bad people because they're breaking into somebody's house. But how do you get the people to like them? You have them break into the house of somebody who's worse than them, and he is a pretty worse guy. But he is a worse guy from what he does.
You know what? I would love. We did this. What was it? Late Phases. It was a
the werewolf
movie.
film, right?
Yeah, I would love to make that blind guy fight this blind guy and see who wins.
I think this guy would probably win, and then he would try to shoot semen in the blind guy's butt. Yeah. So as we say, how do you make a bad guy worse? Because the audience, I'm sure, is still with Blindy McBlindman because he has held captive the girl who has essentially killed his daughter. And I was like, he's still sort of okay. You know, people can be like, you know what, I understand why he's doing it. Fuck these guys. No, they got to add in sort of forceful rape in a sense.
Well, in his own words, he's not a rapist.
He's technically not a rapist. He was. They wrote about him in Rolling Stone magazine, and I guess they got all the information wrong about him. But yes, he is technically a rapist in this film because I think he should actually go to the doctors because his semen looked green inside that frozen container. There's something wrong with that. I think he got blind in Iraq or something like that. Or something else happened.
A grenade fragment hit his eye.
I think the plutonium fell down his pants as well because that green semen was bugging me. Apparently, the trio, after all, they kill money first, which is fine. They showed that in the fucking trailer too, which is stupid.
Really?
Yeah, they did. They showed. He's like, no,
it's
only me, man. And then they show everybody's reaction. I'm like, why would you show this in the fucking? I understand.
Yeah,
people...
why are you gonna show like the main things?
I mean, it's very rare where I don't watch a film where I haven't seen the trailer. I forgot what was the last film that I saw that I didn't see the trailer, which I thought was fantastic. But it was something recent, but I can't even think about it. But anyway, I guess it wasn't that fantastic of a movie. But yeah, they pretty much show everything in the trailers for this film. You don't know where it's going to go, but essentially if you kind of think ahead of time, you're like, yeah, they're going to do this and that and that, and then eventually I'm sure the girl will get away with the money at the end, which she does. But I did like what did you feel about the trio? Well, Money, fuck him, but Rocky and Alex, what did you think about them?
I mean, I liked them. They were cool. Like, I was actually kind of hoping that at the end Rocky would get killed along with him at the same time or something.
And let the rapist win?
No, he would die too.
Oh, okay, yeah, I would have been fine. See, here's the thing. If this was a European film, they all would have fucking been dead.
That would happen.
They would actually. The French probably would have been dancing in the streets if Alex was raped as well in this movie. I'm just kidding, French people. But I think like in the European films, because like I was thinking like Inside. Like remember Inside where they literally
that one's brutal.
I don't want to spoil that one, but it's a brutal ending, and I was like, I wasn't expecting that ending, but I was like, you know what? It's a French movie. Nothing is guaranteed.
French movies are like fucked up.
Yeah, it's something like you can't have you're like, well, that was a good movie, but shit, you know what I mean? It's like one of those type of films. And I would have loved to seen that, but there's definitely no way, at least in an American film, they wouldn't let that happen. Rocky and Alex, and I was actually sort of surprised that Alex survived, because there is a fake out death the first time. Because I was watching it in the darkness of a room.
And that pissed me off too, actually.
The fake death of him?
I'm sorry. I mean, it's unrealistic. I'm sorry, if you get stabbed,
he got shot.
First he got
Shot
shot in the ear.
But I think
Well, he got
did he stab the body of money, or was that him? Because I couldn't see shit.
No. He shot him in the stomach.
Yeah.
He shot him in the ear. He stabbed him with shears.
But I thought the shears was Oh wait a minute, you're talking about before the fake death? He gets stabbed by the shears?
No, like when he gets up the final time before getting really killed.
No, but I think that was a different body, was it? Unless I couldn't see shit. I thought that was the body of money that he stabbed with the shears by mistake.
You could be right.
Because he just kind of got up, and the shears were still implanted in something. So I assume he just killed the guy he stabbed the wrong body.
You might be right then. It's possible.
But it couldn't be wrong because didn't he take the body down the staircase? Some happened. I don't know. That's how.
In any case,
dark this movie is. I couldn't see what the fuck was going on.
He got shot a bunch, and then he's moving around pretty fast, like dodging a dog and shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and he came back. And here's the thing. Listen. I'm just thinking.
I mean, it's a movie.
Yeah,
so,
it is. It's bullshit. And technically, at the end, I'm thinking they're gonna look through Alex's phone. They're gonna see the text with Rocky saying they shot money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, didn't the guy destroy the phone?
That doesn't mean shit. The cops will find out all that shit after. They'll find if they can look through. If people can hack into our computers and look through our fucking cams.
Well, actually, there was a whole controversy where the FBI was trying to get into an iPhone.
Oh, and they wouldn't let them. Right. Well, I guess
they wouldn't let them, and I think eventually they were able to hack it.
Imagine that's a sequel, like an hour and a half of the FBI trying to
them trying to hack it.
But actually, it's not a terrorist thing, so I guess they won't. Yeah, it's not a terrorist.
No, but I mean, the FBI couldn't even do it, and it took them like a week before they were able to hack into it without permission from Apple. So it's not like any cop in Detroit could just do that. And also, and that explains if it's in Detroit. I guess that explains it because I'm wondering why is this guy dragging someone through the streets and no one's calling the cops?
Yeah, it's literally apparently it just looks like shit. The whole
from what I know of Detroit, they have really bad infrastructure and no cops or fire department. I mean, they have some, but depending on where you are.
Apparently they since it used to be a heavily funded by cars companies and stuff like that, building auto industry.
Cars left,
and then the auto industry left, so it went right down to shitter. I think the other thing too is that they don't really have any fire. I could be wrong, but apparently there's volunteer firefighters that are there. It's not even a real fire crew because apparently they burn down buildings a lot to steal the iron or the steel, I think, so they can resell it. A lot of people do that.
Stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of there's a lot of fires.
I don't know. I
feel
feel like people from Detroit are gonna get offended by this, but
no, I understand.
I've heard it's
there's gonna be a guy in a blown up house that's offended by our podcast and shit like that. Either way, they give these white characters the reason to want to leave this Detroit neighborhood. It would have been more interesting if the characters were African American and made it more, an interesting way to have them get the fuck out of here. But then it basically would be just a remake of People Under the Stairs. What did you think about them twirling around the audience's favor for the blind man now being fucking Mr. Semen Master? What is that all about?
Mr. Semen Master. I mean, I didn't like the blind man at any point or feel bad for him at any point, so... But that's because I laugh at the blind.
Jesus.
When I see blind people, I'm like, yes.
I can imagine, the first blind guy, gets up and he's like, oh, and you were ah, laughing with your popcorn. And you're like, look at him, I can see, but he can't. Ah, laughing.
Also, he's an awkward actor. That guy,
Stephen Lang. Yeah, when I first heard his voice in this film, I was like, what? Because the voice was really strange. The one that he was putting on it, you could tell he was.
He kind of sounded like Bane or something.
You could tell he was acting in this film, and I think if they had an extra half an hour of him feeding his dog the wrong food would have been hilarious. He's just putting...
Right.
He accidentally feeds the dog. And the dog is... They put actual CGI cartoon eyeballs on the dog spinning around because the dog's not supposed to eat chocolate. And he's...
Right.
All right, very good. But yeah, so they put that in there to obviously make the audience go with the character Rocky because she's almost assaulted by Mr. Blindo, because he ties her up in some sort of Chinese sex swing in the film, and he slits open her pants, and she's not wearing panties either. Disgusting.
I guess he cuts that
How
too.
dare she? Oh, wait a minute. I'm disgusting a man. I'm mansplaining this. But yeah, he tries to put a beaker in her to inseminate her, and then he gets hit over the head with a hammer.
I mean, he is blind. Is it possible he thought she was a turkey?
So I imagine that's what it was. He usually talks to turkeys and stuff like that. He goes, "Oh, this turkey killed my daughter." But yeah, they do have the justice of him having to take his own jizz in his mouth. But you could tell that was pretty funny.
Nice scene. I liked it.
But that was a scene to make the audience kind of get grossed out by a guy having cum in his own mouth. Yes, very good. And
I actually enjoyed that scene. I thought it was great.
I couldn't stop my boner. But apparently, like, yeah, you know what's funny? Like, this is sort of based on it. I think this might be based on a true story. Not this. There's not a guy inseminating people in his basement. I hope not. That way. But
I hope not.
there was this story in the news. I forgot where it happened. There was this old guy who kept getting his fucking house robbed by these two cousins, these two young kids, a boy and a girl. And he set it up. He was like, I know these motherfuckers are robbing my house. So these two young white kids, or he's a white guy too, and they kept breaking into houses, and apparently I don't know what they were stealing, but he set it up so he knew they were coming, and like a genius this guy did. I sort of feel bad and don't feel bad at the same time, because if somebody keeps robbing your house, you're going to want to, take care of business. But he sort of went overboard with it. Apparently what he did is he said, you're going to laugh a lot now. He actually left a audio recorder going on, and he waited downstairs as they broke into his house. These kids are like probably 15, 17, or maybe early 20s or something like that. The brother, the male cousin comes down the stairs. He shoots him. He falls down the fucking stairs. The girl comes down the stairs not knowing. He blasts her and then blows her brains out on the floor. And then he was like, look, he puts the audio into the cops. He goes, listen, they're breaking into my house, and they send him. They arrested him and sent him for life because I guess he enticed them to come to the house. Like, he did it with intent. So there's no way.
That's not fair.
Well, sort of. I could understand. I can see it both ways. If somebody's breaking into your house, I guess what the law wants you to do is call the cops.
I'm not defending him killing them. He should have called the cops, but maybe he did call the cops and they didn't do anything.
I think what he should have done is not recorded. But you know what? I'm not going to explain that behavior as something that's good. He should have just called the cops and say, "Look, I got these two fucks in my house." But he went overboard, and you can actually hear the audio on YouTube, and it's really chilling. It's pretty nightmarish to listen to. And so that's what I kind of felt watching this film. And I thought, oh, maybe they'll kill Rocky, because he does grab Rocky twice, 2 or 3 times in this film. And it's like, are they going to, have some balls and have it be a sad ending? But no, they don't do that.
I was hoping that when he fell down and, I thought he died, but he just got knocked out. I was hoping that
he had blood pooling under him.
Fall too and break her neck or something,
Yeah, he had blood pooling underneath him, so it was like I thought he was dead because I didn't see what he fell on. And they really truly what's that phrase? When you set something up for later on in a film, I forget what the phrase is called.
Foreshadow.
Yeah, there's another even cheaper way to say it, but they do foreshadow because the camera does. There's a lot of cool one takes in this film. They're probably not one takes, maybe they are, but that scene where they're walking through the house and the camera just kind of goes everywhere with them for these long takes.
Yeah.
And it'll pause on the hammer, and it'll pause on a piece of glass that's on the floor. It'll just pause on stuff that you're like, oh, this is going to come up later. This is for people to be like, wow, what geniuses made this film that they showed that hammer because he hits him with a hammer at the end. Boy, these people, it was like the ingenuity of the Godfather. How genius. But I think it's actually it's a well paced film. The thing is, it's not.
And then one part that actually bothered me, but it was also cool, is so he shuts out the lights, which I thought was cool because it's so now they're on his page basically.
Yeah.
But then the camera showing them, was looked really cheap, in my opinion.
Yeah, what's weird because usually they shoot that in night vision film scenes like that for some reason it turns green. Like if for some reason
It
like
went like
somebody.
black and white and like all pixelated.
I actually,
like,
yeah, I actually liked that, but I might have been seeing it in such a shitty version of the film that I don't know what happened. But I actually, it was the first time I think I've seen a scene in complete darkness done in like black and white, but it was almost like
I like
impossible
when
to
it's
see
just
shit.
like when it looks like campfire lighting, like spooky lighting, but like you could see them. But
Right. Yeah, but I think the thing is that I guess they were trying to go for more authentic. You couldn't see shit because you're gonna wonder where that light source is coming from when you could see them in the complete darkness. But yeah, apparently a lot of films do that.
I think the audience could figure it out. You know, we're not stupid. I am.
I liked the film. I wasn't like crazy over it. Maybe because I heard it was so like, people were going insane over it. Because they thought it was so, they were saying, there's a lot of twists. And I saw a twist in all the fucking trailers. Like, I know it's gonna happen. He's gonna get, fucked up. But I thought it was interesting for what it was. But I didn't think it didn't bowl me over. Like everybody was going crazy.
It was okay.
It's sort of comparable. It sort of had a little, because since it was an actual hit and it made money, it was sort of like how the Babadook, people were going crazy over it, and I liked Babadook, so I mean it was okay.
The Babadook was genuinely awesome in my opinion.
And then also, what was that movie about the people having sex, getting haunted by that ghost?
It Follows.
Don't fuck. Oh yeah, that's what it's called. It Follows. Like I like that movie more, and people went crazy over that too. But with this one, I was like, it's sort of just like a generic sort of crime thriller.
This is like yeah, it's generic.
And then
nothing so stand out about.
So this. I mean, it's good action where she's running around, getting out of there, and Mr. Semen Man is coming after her. That's what they should call the sequel, Mr. Semen Man, and and he runs around with two base. It would have been great if like his hands got cut off in this film, and then they sort of make him like a Freddy Krueger. So the sequel, he just has
he's
two.
He's got the
he's got two turkey basters for hands, and they shoot semen out.
And like there's like a tube dripping from them leading around his cock.
No, it's two tubes that go behind his butt cheeks and into his testicles, and he's like shooting semen, and then
or like one of the tubes is like a vibrating butt plug, and the other is around his cock,
and it's just like massaging his prostate, and then he goes,
yeah, right. And he could flick it, like he has to like cock his arm in a certain way, and it will activate the butt plug.
And then he's like, his catchphrase is like, "There's no fleeing the semen." I couldn't find something to rhyme with that. Anyway, I thought it was an okay film. I thought it was. I sort of felt bad for the Alex character, but then I was like, he's a moron, so fuck him. He got himself into this business. He fucked over his dad. He didn't even get to, get with this girl who's into douchebag guys with cornrows. That guy did have nice cornrows, but he sort of reminded me of if you've ever seen that David Fincher.
I'm sorry, but his name is Money.
Well, like, yeah, he's supposed. Listen, there was a character called the little girl who plays her sister's named Diddy. Okay, so that's like fucking P Diddy's name.
Diddy's like a real name.
Yeah, it's
at
like
least. Maybe she's named after a Diddy Kong.
Okay, I was thinking P Diddy, but whatever. I thought it was okay film. Nice graphics, very well shot. It was paced really well. It was like an hour and a half of a film, so you can't really get much done. But they did a lot for what it was. It was good. I could understand why people would get spooked and what sequences looked spooky, but I'm watching it in my house, so it wasn't really spooky to me.
Right.
Other than that, I think it was okay. I would give this movie a 5 out of 10. Getting your own protein shake from the source.
Okay. I would give this movie a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, maybe 6.
You're not. What?
No, I'm like, yeah, maybe a 6 is better because. Well, go ahead.
6 out of 10. Putting a turkey bait, telling yourself you're not a rapist as you penetrate a woman against her will with a semen-filled turkey baster.
Now, if that's not delusional, I don't know what is. Maybe that guy is related to the senator who was saying all that stupid shit about women's bodies shutting down.
Wiener?
No, that other
guy.
asshole. Yeah,
the woman will secrete a hormone to prevent her from getting pregnant when raped.
Yeah, listen, guys, don't make any fucking judgment about women's bodies and what they can do with it. And it's like, are you fucking?
Well, that guy's just a fucking nut job.
There was a senator. If anybody doesn't know, there's a senator who really actually claimed that women's bodies can shut down and prevent rape babies from happening.
They release a hormone, I believe he said.
Real fucking stupid. Guys, just shut the fuck up about women's bodies. Women will know their own bodies and just leave them alone. I'm not here trying to be social justice, but listen, don't be stupid and make fucking judgments about women and what their bodies can do because you don't have ovaries or fucking uterus. Well, all that shit.
I do, actually.
Do you? Oh,
Alex.
no wonder I was attracted to you. Anyway, with that, Danny, what's the final word?
Da mute mule.
The horror deconstruction.